Okay, so today we shall get started with the TestNG framework. I'll talk about TestNG and we'll cover a lot of features of TestNG. So first of all, what is TestNG and why do we use it? So or rather, so I believe you people know what is a framework, right? Smita, Anamika, do
Yes.
you know what is a
Ye-
framework? Yeah. Yes, Anamika, Smita, you know what is a framework?
I have basic idea.
Okay, great. So, so put it in a simple language, framework is some kind of a components put together which makes a life easy, right? So that you can do a couple of things which you do tend to do repetitively. If you're using a framework, it will be easy to perform that task, right? Now, I'll just give you a quick definition of framework, which I generally use to explain what is a framework. It's a very good example. And then once we get an idea of what is a framework, we'll jump into TestNG framework, right? So what is a framework? I'll read this only. I'll read others things later on my website. So the framework is, if I told you to cut a piece of paper with dimension 5 by 5, then surely you would do that. But suppose I ask you to cut 1,000 pieces of paper of same dimensions. In this case, you won't do the measuring 1,000 times. Obviously, you would make a frame of 5 by 5, and then with the help of it, you would be able to cut 1,000 pieces of paper in less time. Is that right, Smita? So,
Yeah.
what you did was make a framework which would do a specific type of task, right? So instead of performing that, so you know how to do the measuring over and over again, right? You created one frame and you take that frame and put that on a sheet of paper, and it makes your life easy, right? And the work gets done quickly. So similarly, when I mean, it is not just about coding and development. In any work that you want to do or which you tend to do in real life also, if something repetitive is there, you try to build maybe some kind of an approach or maybe a frame or a structure or whatever you might want to call it, so that it eases your work of doing it repetitively, and it makes it easy for you to use and anybody else also to use, right? So that is what is a framework by definition. Right now, so having understood what is a framework, let me go here and go to TestNG. Okay, this is the official website of TestNG. I'll share the link with you all on the chat. You can take it from the net also. So this is the link here. I have pinged it. So there are a couple of things if you will see here in the TestNG. So I'm going to go to the documentation here. So I'll go here, and if you will see, this is a pretty exhaustive topic. We are not going to cover all of this, but some of the features which I feel is relevant to all of us. Not to mention that others are not relevant, but I mean, you could spend like couple of sessions only on this one. So we will just try to cover as much as possible, and this is what we are eventually going to use for building our test cases when we start working on using coding. Fine. So just as an introduction, TestNG is a testing framework designed to simplify a broad range of testing needs from unit testing to integration testing, right? So practically, you can write all your unit test cases, integration test cases, and any kind of test cases that you're going to work on, whether it is regression or whatever it is, right? Now, there are a few ways and approaches or strategy you have to follow to understand on and make use of TestNG. So first of all is like last time when we wanted to use a plugin in Eclipse, we went to the marketplace and installed the plugin for that, right? I hope you people all remember that, right? So similarly, TestNG plugin. So we can although use TestNG independently from command line, but since we are making use of Eclipse, so we are going to what you say, make use of or install TestNG plugin. So I will show that to you quickly. Maybe Kirti will have it already on a machine, but if not, let's do it quickly. So can all of you please open up your Eclipse and go to Eclipse Marketplace here. Just 1 minute. Okay, so go to help, go to Eclipse Marketplace, and uh, once this pop-up comes up, you have to search for TestNG, right, and then say finish. So can you all please do this for me? I'll wait. So this is the option you will get, this blue color TestNG for Eclipse. You have to install it like we have done installation of other plugins. Okay, I hope you people are trying. I'm waiting for you all. I'm waiting for you all. Smita and Anamika, I hope you people are trying.
Naresh, I think it's already installed on my machine. Is there any way I can test it? Like quickly?
Yes. So if you if you will go to help, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
if you go to window, show view, and other,
Mm-hmm.
here you will, if you type test ng, it
Okay.
should show an option like this. If it is there, it means it's installed already on your machine.
Okay. Let me see.
Anamika, what
Okay.
about you?
Yeah, it's already there.
Okay, fine. Anamika, what about you? Is it there for you as well? Anamika, is it? I'm waiting for you to respond. Okay, okay. I think you.
I think I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay.
So I was searching. So I said, what you said after window?
Go to test. So if you go to window, show
Uh-huh.
view,
Okay.
and then go to other.
Okay. We'll show you others. and TestNG.
Yeah. So is it there?
I'm just searching. It's searching. Yes, it's there.
Okay, fine. Okay, so basically that is a plugin of TestNG. Why we use plugin? Like we looked at in Groovy, that you could execute your Groovy script from Eclipse similarly by having TestNG installed on your or rather plugin installed in Eclipse. You could run TestNG test cases from what your from your Eclipse itself, right? Otherwise you will have to do it from command prompt and all that, which makes it difficult. I mean, since that we are comfortable using Eclipse very often, we make use of it. So we will get started with this now. Have I already given access to all of you to my Bitbucket account, or I have not?
Yes, I think you
Okay,
gave
so
access.
I hope you people have already you have already been able to log in and save the credentials. Can you please see if you can log in? And guys, girls, please save all this information somewhere. Bookmark all of this, because I mean it becomes very difficult for me to share this over and over again. If you have not done it, I'll share again. But please maintain all this information somewhere. Okay, so just please quickly check if you people are able to log in, and because I'll do some coding and I'll check in the code here. You can access it from the Bitbucket. Okay, so if while you're searching, I hope you have found the link. If not, please use this link.
Yes, I have.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, so this is the link. I'm sharing it on the Zoom chat. Okay, and username, password. Smitha, you also have it, right? So please log in into this one quickly. Smitha, you are able to log in?
Yeah, I'm just logging in. My machine is a bit slow, but I can log in. I mean, I've done this in the past.
Okay, I'm asking you to do it now. If you don't have credential, I'll give it, because I'll share the code now through Bitbucket only. You can take the
Yeah,
code from here. So please do that. I'll not anymore ping it on the chat.
yeah, no, I have saved it.
Okay, just try it. Otherwise, I'll share the credential and we'll get started.
Yeah, it's in my email actually. If you don't mind,
Okay,
can you?
I've shared the link with you, and I'm
Yes.
giving ID to, and password. And please, all of you,
Yeah.
save this info. It's very difficult to share it every now and then. Okay, so login. Meanwhile, I'll also get started. So TestNG is a framework, a little bit of theory of let's go up for a little bit of theory for 5-10 minutes of what is TestNG, and then I'll immediately get started with the practicals and hands-on. Okay, so so TestNG in the TestNG, NG stands for next generation. Okay, now what is next generation? It is called next generation because like TestNG, there had been other frameworks as well prior to TestNG. So TestNG took the best of best of all the frameworks. When I say best of all the frameworks, I mean that it took best from existing frameworks that were there in the industry, and then it came up with some additional features and functionality. So as you will see, TestNG is a testing framework where NG stands for next generation. TestNG is a testing framework that covers different types of test designs like unit test, functional test, end-to-end end-to-end test, UI test, and integration testing. And you have an option to run various test cases, or maybe if you want a single test case. Right now, we will look at a lot of technical details of TestNG, but one place, you should bookmark this particular link, testng.org, right? So via this, you can go to, if you will click on, let's say, documentation. This is the official documentation of TestNG. All this, you can refer to this. If you come down here, you will see there is a good number of examples for you to try, although we are going to try a lot of it today. Plus Java docs is also there. So Java docs is like a documentation of Java, of how you can actually make use of TestNG, right? So these are two places you might want to frequently visit. Plus you have other stuff here as well. I mean, if at all you want to read up a little bit more about Maven and other stuff, so feel free to come here, right? So that's pretty much regarding the documentation I have shown to you. So let's now get started. One second, let me close. So I will again go to the documentation. Now, uh, what is this? Okay, so if you will see, TestNG is a testing framework inspired by JUnit and NUnit. So as I was telling you earlier, that TestNG had been there. Sorry, not TestNG. There had been JUnit and NUnit testing framework in the industry prior to TestNG, right? So this framework got inspired by, okay, but it also introduced some new functionalities with the existing functionalities that were available. Like you could use annotations, do uh, you could run threads in a pool, right? You could do multi-thread, you could make use of data providers, pass parameters, create test suits, right? So there are a lot of things which we will look at as we go through this one by one. Okay, so how do we create a TestNG test case? But before we do that, you might wonder that I know Java programming, why do I need to use TestNG, right? So Smita, you know Java, right? A little bit of Java. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your test in your main program, if there is an exception happening
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't handle it properly, it terminates, right?
Yeah.
Plus if you have done testing in main for various functionalities, if you just want to test one functionality, you will comment, uncomment, and all those things you come across, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's try some code and you will appreciate the value of what is a test ng. So what you will do is, if you can say new, and you can go to other, and here you can type test ng class, right? Generally I do not take this approach. Why? Because a lot of things, you don't tend to understand, and it will not become very clear if you take this way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a simple Java program, new class. Okay, so I will create this simple program and I'll call it test ng1. Let's say I'll call it test ng1, and in that I'll simply say, what I am going to say is I'll simply call it, so let me delete this here. I'll say public void tst1 open bracket close bracket, and I'll sys out of sys out of, let's say, uh, test1 tst1, right? If I do it like this, so this is a simple Java program, right? Nothing much, yeah, with a simple class and a test method here, test1. Now I cannot actually run this particular method without a main, but in the case of testng there is nothing called main. Instead we make use of some annotations. So what is an annotation? First of all, let me uh, tell you the definition of annotation. What is ANNOT8 annotation? Simple definition we will see. Okay, let me see. In Java, maybe we will find a better definition. What is annotation in Java? Okay. Okay, so if you will read here, first one, annotations in Java. Annotations are used to provide supplement information about a program, right? It starts with @ sign. Okay, so supplement information meaning some additional information. So what I'm going to do is so it starts with @sign. So at the method here, what I'll say @test, and I'll say control spacebar. Okay, if I do this, I'll get this option to import this annotation, and I'll import this, and that is what you have to do, right? Now for this to work, you have to include the jars in your class path. Okay, so I will share the link of the jars with you. So let me share the link of the jar. Oh, okay, here. Okay, yeah, so if you will go to this link, I'm just sharing it with you. You have to include the jars in your Eclipse, and I will show that to you in some time how we can do that. So tstng, right? So you can download this testng from this location. Please start the download now only while I'm explaining. Okay, so you should have these jars in your Eclipse so that you can make use of testng. Now after that, what we will do is you can right click on this particular file, or right click here on the file, say run as testng test. Okay, so if you are able to do this and if it runs successfully, let's see what is the result. Yes, it has run successfully, and it is saying that test1 has got passed here, right? So this is meaning that my setup is successful. So what we will do is, maybe Smita, you can share your machine. We will try to do this on your machine and make sure that it goes fine. Smita, Anamika, while Smita is trying it, you also try it on your machine so that you can also do it simultaneously. Fine. Uh,
Sure.
Kirti, I believe, already has it, so you can share your screen, Smita, and
Yeah.
we will do this running of a single test case, and then we'll move forward. So first of all, what you have to do is, maybe you can create a new Java project,
Okay.
and you can call it whatever name you want to give it. Maybe call it testng, or no, not here. Let's keep them separate. Let's not put all the things together. So you create a
Mm-hmm.
new project, right? Go to the file option in the Eclipse, top
Okay.
file, create new Java project, you can say. go to new Java project. Please type in any name, you can call it TestNG, not slash. Yeah, you already have. Okay, you already, yeah, I mean, this is, you can use this one, new or existing. Okay, it's fine, this is fine. So just say finish. Yeah, now expand it. There is a greater than sign, right? Expand that project. Yeah, expand it. Yeah, now right click on the project. Yeah, right click and create a folder. Right click, new, create a new folder. Yes, yes, this one. Yeah, and call it testng jars, testng hyphen jars hyphen jar. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and say finish. Okay, yeah, just wait. So Anamika, I hope you have come up till here, right? Kirti, this we had already done, but maybe if not, you can do it now. So Anamika, have you reached this far?
Yeah, I have those.
Okay, okay, then next, you downloaded that jar files, right? Can you go to that location? Yeah, download. Where is the download? No, click on the right, on the right,
Oh yeah,
top
I
right,
can.
download.
कहाँ रहती हो? अच्छा, like dangerously close. Really? Dangerously close. I was like,
Yeah, so the download has happened. Open that folder. Yeah, wait, it is still taking some time.
no.
Oh, wait, it is still taking time. Okay, so once it is done, just let me know, Smita. I will move ahead a little bit. Okay. So
Yes.
once you are ready, let me know. Can you stop sharing so that I can continue? So just let me know once once you unzip the files. Okay. So this is how we
Should
can.
I unzip in the same place or there is?
Sorry.
Should I unzip it in the
Yeah,
same folder?
do it in the same location for now. Okay.
Oh,
So this is how we create a single test case, right? Now I can create multiple tests. For example, it could be a unit test. Unit is a single scenario, or I can say test one. I can call it test two, right? Test two. Right click, run as test-ng test. So if I run it, now you will see that it has executed both test cases and both of them are passed. We'll put some useful information inside the test cases, but just now we are trying to understand whether the test cases passes successfully or not. Right now, if you want to take this code, so earlier I had been sharing the code on the chat, right? But now onwards, you have to go to Bitbucket and you have to take the code from there. I will tell you how to get the code. So I hope all of you are logged in, right? Smita and others.
yeah.
Okay, so if you will go to Bitbucket, please go to this project of mine. I'm sharing the link once again. Please bookmark this link. We'll use this very, very often. So let me give you the link. Just 1 minute. So I'm again shared the link with you. So are you all of you, have you opened this, Anamika and Kirti and Smita? Are you able to open that link, and can you see the screen like in front of me on Bitbucket, Connect to Tech, Selenium 3x? Yeah, all of you. If yes, then go to SRC, sorry, SRC, yeah, go to SRC, go to test, and go to Java. Go to SRC test Java. Did you come up till here, Smita? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, did you come up till here?
Um, yeah, I'm just going to the link actually.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just going to the folder.
yeah. Anamika, what about you?
I will have to traverse through the path.
Okay. I have put the path on the bit on the chat, right? Copy that path and go to SRC main SRC test Java.
Oh yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, go to com, go to C2T, go to, you will see API IST 800 weekend session 1, right?
1 second, sorry.
Yeah, C2T,
So WebDriver 3.x2.
go to SRC
Yeah.
test Java.
It's still processing. SRC.
Share your screen, please.
Yeah. Main Java, right?
SRC test Java.
Test Java. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you have reached up till there, then you have to go to com
Mhm.
C2T.
Yeah.
Yes, up till here. Then under that you will see API IST 800 WKND session 1
AIST 800.
weekend.
Weekend slash session 1.
Yes, found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so click on that. Inside that you will see the code which I just shown to you. You will see one file testng1.java. There you
Yeah.
will see the code which I have just done, right? So let me check in the changes as well. So if you
Okay.
will go and refresh here, right? If you will go and refresh on session 1 F5, you should be
Mhm.
able to see the code which I have just checked in. So now
Mhm.
onwards, we are going to share the code from this particular location. Okay, PWD. Okay, so it is not, just 1 minute. Section 1. Okay, so are you able to see that file in the code which I just showed to you?
Yes.
Yes, Anamika, are you also able to see it?
Yes.
Okay, so you can take the code downwards from here. I will not be sharing it on the chat anymore, so you have to take the code from here, right? So
Have you
go down.
pushed recent code, Naresh? Because still I'm seeing the just one.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's why
Okay.
I'm also checking.
Okay.
Com C2T API IST. We can.
Yeah, there's only one
Yeah, actually,
method.
there is some lag here, but
Hmm.
don't worry, that will come. Sometimes it takes a while to update. Although I have checked in.
Okay.
Not, okay, it will come. Don't worry. So for what you can do is either you can copy and paste this, create a file with this name testng1 for example. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want, please create a package also in your project. so that you know where the code is. You can give it any name of your choice, but create a file with this name and right click and run the program and let me know if it is executing successfully.
Naresh, where should we create the file, new file? Under the connect to?
SRC. One second, before we do that, Smita, can you share your screen? We were in the process of setting up, so we will do the setup. So can you share your screen? So, so yes, so go to that folder. No, yeah, still it is not done. Anamik, did you download? Can you share your machine? Can you stop sharing, Smita?
Okay. So where should I create the
Okay.
folder?
Okay, so you have
Where?
already added the files. Okay, so you can create the folder in SRC. Yours is okay. No, in the
Oh,
test ng. Go to test ng.
oh okay. Test NG. Okay.
Under source, create it. SRC under SRC. Right click, new, and you can give any name. Test ng1, for example. Any. If you want to create in a package, if you want to create package, you can create package. So you can call it test ng. Yeah, finish. And on the package, you can right click and say new class. Class. Okay. Yeah, test whatever name you want to give. Test ng1 or whatever it's your wish. Yeah, yeah. And finish it. Finish it. After that, you can go to the code. Copy just the test part, not the whole class. You can stop your service. We don't need it for today's discussion. Like you can copy and paste the code within the class. Delete that bracket also. Yeah. Yeah. And now import this at the red. Click on that and the error. Click on the error. It will give you an option to import it. Click on import, Anamika, just 1 minute. I just click on import option left, double click on that. Click on this, I will import first one, double click on that, yeah, and save your file, save it, and right click and run it. Right click on the file, run as testng. Okay, testng listing job error could not find. Okay, just 1 minute. I will. Okay, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. I'm looking at the problem. Actually, I need to give you new jar files. Okay, just it is testng 6142, right? You're using 6142. Just 1 minute. Anamika, these are the jar files which I shared, right? I just shared this version only, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I downloaded whatever you gave.
Okay. 6142. And which Java are you? Can you right click on your project? On the Eclipse, can you right click on your project? Go to properties. Go to Java build path. You're using Java 8 only. Okay, then 6142 bash. 61426. Okay, just 1 minute. I need to maybe give you the latest beta. This is beta 6143. What, Smita, are you able to do the download? Is it download done for you?
Well, actually, I can see it's almost complete, but not fully complete. I can share the screen if you want to
Okay,
see.
wait then. Second template.
Not sure if the download is stuck somewhere.
Yeah, just 1 minute. I'm giving the I'm finding the right jar files.
Mhm.
So meanwhile, what you can do, Anamika, is you cancel this and that under reference libraries there are 3 files, right? Select the 3 files, 1, 2, 3, only 3 files. Yeah, right click on that and say go to build path, remove from build path. Okay, yeah, remove it and then go to testng folder, delete these 3 jar files, delete them completely. I'll give you new set of jar files. Yeah, that's it. Just wait, I will give you new jar files. Okay, 1 second, I'm just creating the okay, I have sent one link on the chat, on the meeting chat with you. Please take that link and download that file. Anamika, can you take that? Take this new one which I have just pinged to you. Smita, you can also take that new one. Okay, after, did you start the download from that link, Anamika? Okay, do one thing. Please download it and we'll come back and resume the session in 10 minutes. Okay, let's take a break meanwhile. And Smita, you also start your download. Fine. So once we'll come back, we'll continue from here. Yeah, I will quickly break for 10 minutes and we'll resume from here. Let me know if you people are back. Sorry, I forgot to share my screen for the timer. Anamika, Kirti, Smita, I hope you people are back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so just 1 minute. So did you download the new link? Hello?
Yeah, I also copied the jar files to the folder.
New,
And
new,
what was that?
new
Sorry?
link. New link, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Lib
share your
folder, right?
screen. Share your
Yeah.
screen.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah. So now, I hope Anamika, you're also there, right? Now select bash, select the 5 files, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under test. Yeah. Select the 5 files. Yeah. Right click. After you select, right click. Go to build path. Up, up, up. Yeah. Click on add to build path. Yeah. Now click on the error. Line number 7. Click on the error. So Anamika, I hope you're also back. Can you please try with the new jar files?
Yeah, so let me extract and save or delete the old one, and
Yeah.
I will follow that.
Yeah.
This is test annotations, right? Import.
Yes. Yeah, that is right. Yeah. So now run it. Right. Save it. Right click. Save it. Right click and run the file. Right. So right click on the file and run it, Smita. Right click on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
file. Known as test ng. Yeah. Say okay. Say allow. Yeah. So it detected and it started running. Yeah. This is done successfully.
Yeah.
Anamika, are you also able to run it now with the new jars?
No, I'm little behind. Let me,
Okay.
I just downloaded, extracted those file to and deleted the old
Yeah,
folder.
okay,
And
please, yeah, please do it quickly so that we can start now.
okay, so
Can I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop. So, although this is taking way too long, but I hope you people remember this for future, okay? Because this is something which we'll do very often. So next time I will not tell you all the steps again. So this goes for Anamika, Smita. Please also refer to the recording of how we did what we did, right? And please please bookmark all the links which I'm sharing somewhere. Okay, so while you are trying to do it, okay, I'll just wait for another 2 minutes and then.
Yeah, sorry, I need quick help
Yes, share
here.
your screen.
So,
Share your screen.
yeah, so under this test ng, should I import all these
No,
files?
no. So you copy that for jars here. Paste
Oh,
extracted
okay,
files.
okay, copy and paste. Okay, I'll do that.
You did not extract it. Please share your complete screen, not only Eclipse, please, Anamika.
Okay, I have extracted. You can see.
Yeah, you have only shared Eclipse. Share the whole screen so that I can see what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
Stop sharing and yeah.
Okay.
Go one level up, one level up, go one level up. No, it is not extracted, Anamika. It is in the zip. Go to API testing. Can you see that icon?
Oh, yeah, right.
Extract it first. Right click on that and extract it.
Okay.
Yeah, do it here only.
Second folder is lib, right?
Yeah, go to TestNG and copy the files now. No, this is the old one, Anamika. I just pinged you the new URL.
Yeah, the lib one.
I just gave one new link on the chat.
Yeah, I extracted from the
No, it is
download.
not the one. I have shared new one. Open your chat.
So should I delete all this test ng then it?
Yes, please delete it. I have shared the link again. Please do it quickly.
Sure.
No, not this. This is not one VU. Yeah, this is the one. Download this.
Yeah, I have downloaded.
Go one level up. It you have to still extract it.
Okay.
Go to downloads. Yeah, extract it.
Okay.
Refresh the folder. It will be somewhere down or somewhere.
Okay.
Come down. It will be down maybe in the same directory. Come down.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
here.
go here. Go inside that. Go inside the lib.
Okay, it says more files like this.
Yeah, now select the 5 files. Add to. Right click and add to class. Add to build path. Build path. Now right click on the file and run again. Right click on test. Yeah. Run as test ng test. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Not load them. Six one four two. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, what I will do is, Anamika, I am giving you a newer version. Okay, but you will repeat everything what we just did with respect to download and putting in the class path. Meanwhile, I'll also
Sure.
continue with the session. Okay, just give me.
Sure.
I'm giving you later version of TestNG.
Should I stop sharing so you can
Yes,
move
yes,
forward?
yeah. I'm just creating a jar file and I'll give it to you. You can carry
Sure.
on with.
Yeah. I will clean up everything old, whatever I have downloaded.
Okay, I have shared it on the chat window. I'll continue for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, today we have not done anything already.
Sure.
So please take this, download it again, unzip it before. Otherwise, you will not be able to complete. Okay. So
Sure.
let's make some progress. So coming back, so basically, like I was explaining. So as you can see, I have created. What is my? Yeah, this one. So here, section one. Okay, so I have created this file. Now, as you can see that I have made use of I have made use of annotation here, right? Annotation, what does this annotation do? It tells that this particular method is a test case, and you can write your unit test here. You can perform various operations, as we will see once we make progress. So I have created two test cases here. What if I want to create one more test case? I can say test case 3, for example, and I'll again annotate it with the 3. Now what if I remove the annotation? Then it will not run as a test case. So if I remove this and if I say right click, run as test-ng test, so you can see only two test cases have run, right? But if I annotate it with at the test, then let's see what happens. Right click, run as test-ng test. So it is 1, 2, 3, right? So these are some of the features of a, or rather how we create a test case. So let me come back here. So as I was showing to you that there are a lot of things we can do with this. So let me go back to my notes here. So this is the setup we have already done, right? Now, if you will see here, test-ng does not require to have a main method, right? Also, there is no need for a method to be a static method. Now, we used at the rate test annotation. At the rate test is used to tell the method under it is a test case. In this case, we have set, so whatever the name we have to give, right? Now, if you will observe that the order in which the test case is executing, for example, is where is the console? So Windows show view console. So if you will observe carefully here, the order in which these test cases are executing is, it is not actually the order in which they are appearing. So if I put here, uh, if I put it here, for example, test321, if I right click and run this file, right click, run as test-ng test, right? Yeah, if I run this particular test, then you will see that it is still order is 1, 2, 3, right, Anamika?
Yeah.
And that is because the order in which the test cases are executed is determined the order in which they would appear alphabetically in a dictionary. So that is the order of the test cases, or the order in which the test cases execute, right? Now let us look at, we have looked at one annotation which was at the rate test. Let's look at some other annotations. So if you're looking at the official documentation of this one, so this was the official documentation. We will go to documentation. There are a lot of other annotations that are available, right? Can you see this? Yeah. So we will try to play around with some of these annotations. So let's look at this one, before test, first of all, right? So if you can read this in front of you, uh, at the rate before test, the annotated method will be run before any test method belonging to this class. So let's say I create a method here and I'm going to call it public void method method1. Whatever name you want to give, it is your choice. And here I'll say sysout method1. Right now I'm going to annotate it with at the rate before test. So I can say at the rate BEFORATST, right? So now if I run this, let's see what happens. You will see that as per the definition, this method will run before any test method, meaning before either this or this or this executes, this will be executed, right? So let's right click and run it, Java test. So do you see that this is appearing first, Anamika?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what does it mean? It means that I mean, let's say for example, you are trying to do some testing, right? Before you do a testing, you have some prerequisite you want to do setup, right? Yeah. So that kind of logic you can go ahead and put in this particular method, maybe to set up your database or have your data ready for the testing purpose, right? So this is what you put in here. Okay. So can you quickly go to that location of Bitbucket and to see if you can find this? So it is under I seems to have changed name, TestNG. Just 1 minute. I will put this file here. Go to IS weekend test ng. I will put this file. It is not refreshing. Yeah, can you find the @ before test? Yeah, Anamika, you found?
Just checking.
Yeah, go to this directory, this one. Please don't close it, keep it open. I'm going to make changes in this package only every time. So the file name is this TestNG-1, the capital N. Can you share your screen? Anamika, can you share your screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hit refresh
Yeah,
and
okay, let's wait.
nothing is coming.
Okay, go. Give me the control.
I think now it's coming. Yeah, it was too, I think, slow. I have to restart my system. Something
No,
is
please don't restart. It will take another
okay.
2 minutes. We already have not done much.
Okay.
Please close this.
So PI?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is taking too long. I mean,
Yeah, you can continue. I'll
okay,
see.
I will continue with the session now.
Yeah, sure.
People, please try from the video because machines are very slow and this way. Otherwise,
Yeah, sure.
we can't make progress. Okay. So, as you will see, I have created.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll share my screen. So as you will see that I have made 3 methods, and I have also created one more method which is @ before test. So what this test will do is that it will basically execute this before any test case is executed in the system. So it could be used for doing some setup related work, right? Meaning, like for example, if you want to create data or maybe any other setup related information which is needed for other test cases, that is what you can do in the before test, right? So like before test, there is a after test also. So I'll create public list void aft here, open close. Now if you do not put these annotations, right, if you do not put annotation, then they don't become part of the test cases. So I'll say sys out of, I'll say after, for example. So let me right click and run this, right click, run as testng. So you will see that there is one method is there, after is there, this method is the one in the beginning, then the test cases are executed, right? Smita and Anamika, is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, Smita, to you also. Okay, I think Smita, she is not there. Okay, so this is how the before and after works. So this is before any method, means out of this three, uh, this will execute, and after all the three, this will execute. Now, like before test and after test, there is one annotation more, which is before method. So if you will go back to the documentation here, so there is a before test, after test, there is a before method, as you will see. So this is called before, means there are three methods here, 1, 2, 3, right? So before, after, before, after, before, after of each of this, right? So before this one, after this one, before this one, after this one. So let's say you are in a situation where you want to maybe do some kind of a test setup before each method, right? So let me create what is that name? This is before method. So I'll say public void before method, open bracket, close bracket, sys out of, I'll say before method, right? I'll put this before and at the rate before, right? Before method. So let me also draw one line here so that it serves as a separator. Now if I run this program, right click, run as testng test. So let's see what happens. So can you see, Anamika, that before method is executed, okay, so first the method before is executed, then the method is executed, then before method, then again the method, then before, and then again the method, right? Yeah. Similarly, there is an after method also. What is that after method? So it will be executed after all the methods. Okay. So let me put after before method like that. There is one aftr, aftr. Yeah, I'll put it as aftr method, right? And here I will I have to import this after method, right? So if I now right click and run this program, right click, run as. So can you see that before each method, so before method is there and after method is there. Can you see that, Anamika? Yes, please acknowledge on the chat or through here. Is it okay?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is how, so basically the purpose is that before you want to execute one particular method or after any particular method, this is how the execution flow is, right? Now let's look at a small variation of this one. So let's say let me delete all this, and let me delete all this. Now let's say you are trying to perform a testing to maybe log in into the Facebook. For example, let's take a scenario that you want to log in into Facebook. So there are certain steps you will follow. That is open URL. So I'll call it open FB Facebook URL. Then enter username and PWD. For example, click CLICK button. Right, so this is how you would or click login button, for example. Yes, so these are the steps which we actually follow to perform login into Facebook. Now if I try to run this test case, right click, run as test. Right, so you will see the order in which it is executed is first the login is happening. Can you see, Anamika? First login, then enter username password, and then the open URL. So the order is not proper. I mean, this way things will not work properly. Yeah. So what we can do is, and why it is happening? Okay. Now the order, as I told you some time back, the order in which these test cases they execute is going to be the order in which the name of the test case appear in dictionary, in a dictionary when were arranged alphabetically. Is that right, Smita? So first C will execute, then E will execute, then O will execute. Right? This is how they will alphabetically appear in the dictionary. Right, Smita? Can you acknowledge on chat regarding the order of the execution of the test cases? Yes, Anamika, can you acknowledge? So then what do we do about it? I mean, we have to execute them in proper order, right? So what I will do, Anamika, is you can put a bracket here, right? And change the priority. Put a bracket and say control space bar. So I have entered control space bar and I got so many options as to what are the arguments which I can pass to this. So I'll say priority, right? So my first priority is to open the URL. I'll make it priority equal to 1. Okay, then priority equal to 2, and then I'll say priority equals to 3. Okay, now this is three methods with priority 1, 2 and 3. The lesser the priority, the higher. So if the test case with the priority 1 will be executed first, then the one with the priority 2, and then with the priority 3. Right, so let's try to run it. Right click, run as testng. Right, so can you see that it is now executing in the order open URL, enter username and password, and click on login button, right? Yeah, so you can also give a negative priority. Why? Because um, uh, let's say before this you wanted to insert some other step also, and let's call it public void create FB account, open bracket and close bracket, for example. Right, now if you have to execute this as the first test case, you cannot change the order of all the test cases. You cannot make it 1, 2, 3. In that case you have to end up changing all of them, right? So what I can do is, let me first of all say sysout of create FB account, right? And here I can give @test, and I can say priority priority equal to -1. So negative number is also a valid priority. If I right click and say run as test, so can you see that first the negative is executed, then this one, then this one, then this one, right, Anamika? Yes, no? Yeah. So Smita, what I was telling you just now is that you can set a priority like this, and in order to do that you put bracket and say control space bar, and there is an option of priority. If you will come down OPP priority, right, equal to -1. So the test cases with the least priority will be executed first. So positive and negative priorities are allowed, right? Now what if there are two test cases with the same priority? So if I have test open FB URL, so let's say I make it FB URL _1 and maybe _2, right? Now we can have two test cases with the same priority, right? Two test cases with the same priority, uh, to same priority here, priority 1 and priority 1, right? Now in that case what will happen, the order in which they will execute will be the order in which, when these two test cases are put in the dictionary, howsoever they appear. So alphabetically if you arrange them, this appears before this one, right? So if you right click and say run as test-ng test, so you will see that first you get priority -1, then 1 1. In the case of 1 1, this one arranged alphabetically appears first, then this one, then this one. Is it clear, Anamika? Yeah. Okay, so that was regarding the test cases priority. So we have few more annotations which I will come to in some time later. Okay, then let's talk about concept of uh, let's talk about concept of creating a suit file, right? So what is a suit file? So basically in TestNG there is a concept of suit file. If you will come down here, it will mention about a suit file. So currently, as you will see, that that we have created one test case, this one is this one, right? So we have so let me create some more test cases. I'll create test ng maybe 4, and I'll also create test ng 5, right? So let's keep it simple for the time being. So I will let me not keep any of this. Let's keep it very simple, or we can actually keep it, there is no harm at all. So this is my file 1, and this is my, sorry, file number 4, and testng, which is file number 5, right? So how do I distinguish between them? I'll make it testng 5, right? Okay, now what is a suit? In the case of testng, concept of suit is that, so this is a single test case, right? This test case have this particular test has, this is a test, right? So this test has so many test cases. This is a test which has so many test cases, right? So what if you actually want to create a suit file? What is a suit? In testng there is a concept of a suit file, which is a collection of various test cases, and we will see that a suit can contain number of test cases. So let's look at it with an example, then only you will understand it better. So you right click on the package, I'll say right click, say new, and go to other, and you say XML, right? Here you will see this file. Can you see this XML file? Can you acknowledge, Anamika? Yeah. So if you will see here, this 1 minute. So I'll choose this and say next, and you can give any name, suite.xml, right? If you give this, now this is your XML file. We all know what is an XML file, right? We have already seen that. Now in this, I will make an entry of one more tag, which is this one. I will explain this to you a little while later, maybe in some time. But But how do we create a suit file? So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say control space bar. So Anamika, do you see a tag called suit? Yes. Can you say yes or a no? So this I see when I press control space bar and I'll click on this. So I'll give it name suit 1. Okay, then I'll hit enter. In between this, I'll again say control space bar. Here, do you see a option as test? Can you see Anamika test? TST. I'll double click on that and I'll create it. I'll give some name to it, TST1, for example. Right underneath this, I'll say control spacebar. Again, there is a classes. Okay, classes. Under classes, I'll say. So let me format it by saying Control Shift F. Control Shift F will do formatting in Eclipse, right? So here I can say again Control spacebar. There is an option as class. I'll choose the class, and this name of the class is the name of the class which I want to execute. So I'll go to this file, okay, and I'll double select this file here. I'll select the file here, and in that file I will say right click and I'll say copy qualified name. I'll after I copy that qualified name, I'll go here and in the class name I'll put that qualified name. So qualified name of a class is the complete name of the class with the packages, right? So is there any doubt here so far, Anamika and others? Smita, what
Yeah,
about you?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so you saw how we create a suit file, right? Yeah, I've checked in this code. Now what I'll do is I'll right click on the suit file, right click, run as. Can you see TestNG suit, Smita?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. If I right click and run it as, see, so can you see that it has executed all the test cases in the class, which is this file, which is 4, right? Now you might wonder that what is the benefit of creating a suit file? So what I can do is, actually the benefit is this, and before I tell you the benefit, let me go and individually execute this file again, right? So I'll right click on the file and say run as testng test. So if you will see, I have done it without a suit. Can now if you will go to Windows, show you other, and if you choose testng, you will see this option, right? Yeah, can you see that, Smita?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, if you look at here, the green means the test case has passed, right? But if you look at it carefully, it actually creates a default suite which contains a default test, which contains the class file, and which contains the test cases. So, internally, when a test case is getting executed, a suite is always created, right?
Okay.
So, then what is the benefit of we doing or creating this suite file? The benefit is that you can create a suite file which can contain multiple test cases, right? So if you have like 10, 20, 30 test case files, you can combine to execute them as a single suite. We know is a collection of things, right? So I can create one more test here. I can give it name test2, for example, right? And then again I'll say control spacebar. I can say classes. Then I can again say control spacebar class. Name is, so another one is 5. So I'll copy this here, right? And I'll put here 5. And let's try to run this file now. I will try to right click and say run as testng suite. So if you will see here, can you see now two tests in the suite? There are two tests, Smita, 1 and 2, which I created test 1,
Yeah.
test 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I expand it, it has that class, right? and if I further expand, it
Yeah.
has the test cases. So as you can see, I can combine number of classes to get executed in a single suit file, right? Now also what I can do is, this is classes tag. Classes means it can hold more than one class, so I can add one more class here, right? So I can maybe make here two, or maybe I can add. So if I run this again, so in this test I am running two classes. In this test I am running a single class, as you can see here. So right click, run as test ng suite. So do you see again here that test case 1 has two classes, test case 2 has one class, and the methods inside, right, Anamika and Smita?
Yes. But how is the flow of execution
Flow of
in the
execution
real?
is the order in which it appears in the suite file. So if you will see, first test ng4 is, and then 2 is executed, right? So this 4 and then 2 and then, so the order is the order in which it finds the file.
Yeah, and the scope of the local variables, how will
There,
that be
there is
passed?
no, I have not defined any local variables here.
No, not here. Like just in case if you have
So so if you define any local variable within the method, that will be local to that particular method only, right?
method, yeah.
So see, the
Yeah.
idea of suit is this: suppose you do testing, for example, right? And
Hmm.
you will create a test file one for one particular functionality, file two for another, file three for another, right? So instead of executing each of them one by one, you can create a suit file, and suit can execute all the test cases for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to check in the code. You please try it out after the class today, because we have already spent a lot of time trying to struggle to get it working. But please verify if you can see the code. Only that much, please let me know. Go to Bitbucket and the link,
Hmm.
refresh it, and let me know if you can see the code here. So if I refresh it, let me see. So the all the files are here, right?
Yeah.
Anamika, you can also find the files, right? So so this is how we basically create uh, create a suit file, right? Now, okay, parallelism I will explain later on. It is going to take time. Assertions also will take time. Okay. Okay. Now, okay. So some of the annotations we will cover a little while later. So as I have already told you, with respect to priority, uh, that that the order of execution is the order in which they alphabetically appear in the dictionary. If you want to alter the priority, you can alter it with the help of this particular priority. Okay, great. Okay, so let's say for some reason you want to enable or disable a certain test case. So currently, as you can see here, I have 1 2 3 4 around 5 test cases here, 4 to 5. If I right click and run as test ng test, so you will see all the test cases have got executed, right? Now, sometimes it might happen that out of the 5 test cases or 50 test cases in my file, I might want to execute only some of them and not all. So there is an option available. I can say comma e NABLED equals to. So I don't have to remember this. I'll say control spacebar. These options are shown, right? Can you see enable boolean? So if I make it false, right? By default it is true. If I make it false and if I right click and say run as test ng test, let's see what happens. So can you see that now the first test case is not executed, right? Create FB account, because I have set the enabled as false for this particular test case, right, Smita?
Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, if you want to choose to enable or disable, you can do it for the other test cases. And as I have already told you that you do not need to remember this. just go here and say control space bar, right? And you'll see all the options. Now, what if I don't give any priority to a test case? In that case, the default priority of a test case is 0. 0 is less than 1, 1 is less than 2. But priority by, so in the terms of execution, the lesser the priority, the higher the importance. So if it is 0, it means this will execute what in which order? Smita, can you tell us?
So the first one is -1, right?
Yeah, so this is -1,
Uh, then the open FB URL
this
underscore
one,
one.
right? This is 0
Yes.
priority by default.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 1, then 2, then 3, right? So
2
I
and
can make it -3 also. So any integral value is allowed, for positive, negative is allowed, right?
yeah.
So right click and run as, yeah. So can you see -3 means it got executed the first one here, right? Yes.
Mm.
So this is how the priority of test cases work in the case of fine. Smita and Anamika, clear?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll wind up the session for the day. Today we had some issues with respect to the setup and all that. Please make sure it is sorted out before we meet tomorrow for the session, so that we can make more progress tomorrow. Fine? Yeah, Smita, Anamika?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will put this in YouTube in next half an hour. Last video got delayed due to some technical issues, but I'll put it in within next half an hour or 1 hour. You can check the playlist. So I will name it as TestNG-1. So please go through the video. Make sure you have the setup of TestNG and Eclipse done, so that we can move faster tomorrow with the discussion that we are having. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. And anybody
Thank
has
you.
any quick question, please? Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thank you.